video that I have. When that happens, you'll be able to see live script writing from not only from the abstract point of view, but also from the practical point of view. What makes sense? What do I mean when I said let's improve the hook? We're talking about the storytelling layout. We're talking about being able to bring to life the actual script for have a better understanding and an in-depth understanding of what it means. It's not just words. It's just basically a complete outline as to what we need to do. And you'll be able to see very clearly how we move from one phase of the script to the next. Be able to see that clearly. And that's what we're hoping to achieve tonight. Tonight, let me look at the agenda real quick. Share the agenda. And you'll be able to see what I'm talking about immediately when I present to you the different elements of the script writing, like the hook, the pacing, the curiosity loop, conversational writing, and the CTA, the call to action. We'll be able to see all that live and in person. So that's what the goal is. But I think it's important that we basically preview this video that we have. We'll make some commentary on it. And then basically we will go ahead and specifically talk about the script writing and the different elements of it. And I have prepared for you a very nice layout series of elements that we should be able to work from point A to point B. So that being said, let me get ready for the video that's about to be presented. I'm going to change my screen to be ready for that, and then we'll begin to speak of it. So let me see. Yep, here we go. Share that one. I should be sharing my YouTube channel right now. And the video is scheduled for 9 p.m. And it should be a fun video to watch. And from there, we will just go ahead and kick it off. Notification is on. If you guys are not familiar with this thing called notification here, when you see something scheduled, you should be able to continue to do what you must. Apologize for the alarm that I had to take some medicine. Okay, but this is critical for us to do that. I started the thing a little bit early so that it gave me an opportunity to set up the machine. So those of you that are joining me at exactly 9 p.m., you guys are on time. You haven't missed anything other than a quick introduction as to the agenda that you're going to be playing tonight. And as you see right here, the first one is to preview this video called Shadow Ban Myth Debunked. That's the discussion that we had last night. So I thought that in addition to providing you with the information person to person, I thought it was important that I also provided you with a video to memorialize the information that we learn. It's always good to reinforce one set of information with another. The video should be coming on just about now. Let me make sure that I'm in. It should be coming on right now. Should be coming on now. Okay, good. Yep, it is. 9 p.m. schedule for. Oh, my apologies. This is not the one for today. Well, let's go back to the agenda then. I have too many videos scheduled, so I thought this was dropping at 9 o'clock. So it is not. It's dropping tomorrow at 9. So forget what I said at the start, and let's go to the agenda for tonight. The agenda for tonight has to do with script writing, and that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about script writing, and high performance YouTube script use the following: a strong hook, tight pacing, a conversational tone and writing, and a strategic CTA, or call to action. We are going to walk you through all those elements tonight and hope that you get a pretty good understanding of where we stand on that. Okay. And the question is, why do we do that? Why do we do that, basically? And it's rather simple. We do that for retention, to retain our subscriber from the beginning to the end. You have a good script, you should be able to retain your individuals, your subscriber from beginning to end. Okay, here we go. So this is the script writing framework that I have developed for tonight. Basically, the way that we start is look for strong ideas, right? So you have to research the topic, and there's a lot of information as to how you come up with ideas. It could be as simple as opening a dictionary and pulling up a word. It could be to just brainstorming. So all of that is idea generation, and it's not the purpose of tonight's meeting. We talked about that 2 nights ago. The key, though, for tonight would be once you come up with the idea, find an interest, and that interest could be a training idea, and we're going to talk about it in a minute. It could be tech, it could be news, or it could be a viral topic. Most people concentrate on virality in here. The question, because why is that? Why would you concentrate on virality? Because in reality, what happens is this: you pick up a video, and if that video has 1 million views, for example, the point would be that if you create a video that is similar to that, not just put it on your channel, but you create something similar to that, if you distill the essence of that video and you create something similar, there is a good likelihood that people will have interest in the same information, and you select and you choose and you acquire and you obtain virality, becomes a viral video. So that's what we mean by making sure there's a seed of interest, either from you personally or from the public at large, your subscribers, right? If you find out what your subscriber want and you provide that to them, they're more likely to watch your video. It's like, for example, going to a restaurant, right? If you know 90% of your restaurant visitor like a particular dish, you sell that dish every night, and you make it better and better every time. And with that being said, then basically, you will be able to sell more of the products that you are changing the view here, that you are providing to the public, right? So, and that's what the key is. You want to get a topic which is something that either you are interested on, but most likely you want your subscriber to be interested on that, right? Okay, so I'm going to put here in the mind of the subscriber. The mind of subscriber. By the way, this is a developing story. So, if you see me making changes, it's because we're constantly trying to improve the script on that, and you'll be able to see some of that before. Now, the other idea, when you're researching the idea, you look for outliers. And there are a lot of programs out there, even YouTube, that have outliers. And I'm not sure if I could show you one or not. Let me see if I could find one real quick. And I could show you what I mean by outliers. I'm looking for my YouTube channel real quick, see if I could find one that have the symbol in it, so that I give you an idea what I mean by that. No, this one don't have any, so I can't show you that. See, modernization, gaming. No. You see it on the video. It has like 100x, 200x. It has you want to get those that have the highest number as far as an outlier, and basically be able to create video on that. What that mean basically is, if a creator is normally create videos, right? And the next video was 100 times better than the previous one, he must have learned something that caused that video to jump that high. And the theory behind that is, if you're able to, again, distill what he did, you should be able to create a script that is basically similar to it, and therefore will get you a similar view. So people look for video that have 1 million plus views and that have an outlier index attached to it. And if I can't find one, I will try to show it to you. But the one that I'm looking at right now don't have those right now. So I'll keep looking as we talk. And if I find one, I will be able to show you that. So the key here is not to copy the topic, right? But to identify the angle that made them work, that made them go to get more views than the previous video. So you have to kind of study the outlier, that video that has the outlier, and basically be able to learn more from it. Apologize if I pause. I was kind of looking to see if I could find an example of an outlier, because it's better to present you with information than just try to show you or to talk about it. Sometimes it's better to do that. Not necessarily every single time, but most of the time it is. So that's why I pause a little bit in relation to what I was trying to accomplish. So just bear with me for a few seconds, because I want to be able to be accurate in relation to what I'm showing you right now. Okay, you still can find it. Now, there are two things that is important. One is called the business hook. The other one is strategic hook. To me, is just think of the why. The why of the video is really what you got to think about, right? Why it matters, not just what it is, right? It could be that it was a great edition, or the editor did a great job editing the video, and that's what happened. Or it could be that it was comedy. That's what happened, but you want to know is, why did it happen? Why did it happen to this particular video? And if you focus on that, if you focus on getting a strong idea that you have an interest on it, but most importantly, that your subscriber have an interest of it, you'll be way ahead of a lot of people in relation to creating that script. Okay. So what's the goal here? Is to find a compelling idea with a clear payoff. And I'm gonna add the term here, outlier, because that's really, that's something important. That's something, outlier is sort of like the proof. You know what I'm saying? You could have, in your mind, you could have, oh, I think I have a great idea, but how do you know? What's the proof of that? If you don't have a proof as to why it's an outlier, basically what's going to happen is you won't be able to prove that it is a good idea, right? You still be guessing. So outlier theory is the best way to validate your ideas. Let's say if you have an idea, it's a great idea to talk about how to increase your number of subscribers. Great. How do you know that's a good idea? You look for outlier video that gives you the concept of how to do that. So now let's talk about this here right now, the hook. The hook is everything. And as you're going to see, we talk about the hook here, explaining what it is. The hook instantly grab your attention, explain what you're doing. Okay, so am I talking or am I gonna demonstrate? So let's see what I could do here. So the 5 seconds. So I have a video that I posted, that I'm about to post, right? So I'm gonna play the first 5 seconds to see if I'm able to capture the hook.
Right now, thousands of creators are convinced YouTube is secretly suppressing their channel. And here's the scary part. Some of them might be right.
Okay. Except for one thing, I didn't put it in the video, so I'm gonna do it again. Apologize, too many screen going on. You probably heard the sound, but didn't see the video, so I'm gonna replace the clean dashboard. No. Oh, it's the window. Hopefully you could see now the video that I'm presenting, and also be able to see the hook that I'm speaking of. So I'm going to replay it. Apologize, you have to hear it twice.
Right now, thousands of creators are convinced YouTube is secretly suppressing their channel. And here's the scary part. Some of them might be right. Continuing from previous shot.
Okay. So that's basically the hook. The question is YouTube really shadow banning my channel, right? That'll be essential to a lot of people when you present it. So for that reason, that to me is the hook for the video, for the start of this video. So as I go through, I'll be able to present a portion of the video. I'll give you an example what we are talking about, not just basically what it is, not just the words, but also the actual example. So as we go here, explain that the hook is everything. So you want to lay that out in the first 5 seconds of the video. So it must validate the click, meaning that it must match the thumbnail and the title that you are presenting. So the question, if you remember from the discussion last night, you do want to have the title and you want to have the thumbnail worked out. So I think, let me see. I think I added the title of that here, right here. So if you see the title, it matches the hook. It's shadow banning, is YouTube. So put over here, YouTube. Shadow banning you, right? So that's going to be part of my title. So now let me look to see if I have a thumbnail that has something similar to that, so I could present it to you as an example, right? So let's go here. Let's replace. Let's go to the window. So it turns out that I do, right? If you could see this, you should be able to see this on your screen. I just display it on mine. That is one of the many thumbnail that I have. I usually make multiple and try to determine what works. This is one of them. Let me see if I could show you another one. Window. Should be able to show you more than one. Here you go. This is another one. This is another one. You know, different style, different female. And last but not least, I'm going to show you one more. Window. Okay, here we go. So you see one is kind of dramatic, a person pulling their hair saying, oh my God, is YouTube shadow banning my channel, right? The real answer in 2026. So if you go back to the instructions that we're putting out tonight, let me go back to that. Replaced by the agenda. If you go to that, you'll be able to see that that's what we mean by that. Why the hook in the first 5 seconds that I just play the clip for you, must validate and match the thumbnail and the title. That's very important because otherwise it's deemed to be clickbait. And sometimes YouTube doesn't seem too kindly about that. Plus, you lose a lot of your viewers by doing that, and you'll be able later on, if I have a time, I will show you the curve for viewer. They kind of click in based on the title and the thumbnail, and they quickly go away when it doesn't match the expectation that you set way at the beginning. So that will be fine. So another one, you want to state the value proposition really quickly. And let me see if I could, no. Let me get through this and I'll show you a couple of more things. You know, you want to avoid fluff and use long punchy line with rhyme. I'm not a poet, so I may not be able to do that, but you want to avoid things like welcome back to the channel, long extended context before the value, and slow pacing. So if I go back to the video real quick, let's see how much of that we were able to accomplish by showing you that. So let me see, channel. No, that's not it. We are doing Windows, and we are doing nothing. Here we go. Media player share. So let's go back and play it again. You should be able to see the display.
Right now, thousands of creators are convinced YouTube is secretly suppressing their channel. And here's the scary part. Some of them might be right. Continuing.
You see how quickly I move from one scene to the next. So let's see what happens.
From previous shot. What is shadow banning?
That goes to explanation. I'm going to deal with that in a few minutes. I wanted to be able to see the transition and what it means very shortly. I just want to show you that and be able to move on back to the agenda, so we could talk about the next step. And so the pacing was not slow; it was a quick pacing from one scene to the next. So the base hook structure has a big statement like we made. It has a curiosity gap. Is YouTube really banning you and your channel, right? And and then as you see the development is, we're going to talk about viewers and what they're gaining by watching the video. So you want to structure your hook for retention, right? You want to be sure the hook grabs attention right away. For example, have you heard of, or are you concerned with not getting enough views? If you are you concerned that YouTube may be shadow banning your channel? Right? If you heard of that, put a comment below and let us know what you think about that. Now, the next step that I do explain is, what is shadow banning? Maybe you're listening to this presentation because you don't know what it is. So let's go back to the video and see if we're able to explain that in details. Well, I'm going to explain it here, but I want to see if I actually touch upon that. So here. I think I'm in the location right now. Let's see. I'm going to go back a little bit. Let me go ahead and press start once again.
Previous shot. What is shadow banning?
This is why I explain it.
The term shadow ban didn't start on YouTube. It started on social media, where platforms could quietly make your account invisible to everyone else without ever telling you. Your posts still go up.
So basically, that's what you see as part of the hook. So let me change it back to share again. So as a hook is part of the introduction, right? And one of the things you want to do there, you want to explain, what is happening, why does it matter, what you will learn, right? So for example, I selected to explain what is shadow banning, which the other explanation that I have, and more information in the context there. But obviously, if I do this, I'm going to be here all night. But I selected what is shadow banning, which is the explanation part of the introduction, right? So, and then later on, tomorrow when this video drops, you'll be able to see more information that is part of the intro and part of the hook, right? So we're talking about here, body with an open loop. Keep the viewer watching by teasing, for example, upcoming opportunity. And you see what I say, let's look at the signs. Let me see if I could get you a little further into the video to see how I was able to tease the viewer as to what's upcoming. One more time, 58. I know that I'm changing from one section to another, but I think it's important that you just get not only the video, but also the information that is 58. I'm just moving it forward right now. You go right here. I'm going to start right here.
Signs. Do these sound familiar? Sign number 1. A sudden unexplained view drop, not a gradual decline. A wall. One video.
Let's see, 58. Go back a little bit before 58. 54.
On. Let's look at the signs first. The signs. Do these sound familiar? Sign number 1. A sudden unexplained view drop, not a gradual decline. A wall. One video performs normal, the next one.
So that's sort of, you say like, wow, let me go look at my analytics to see if I see that happen. I'm quite sure we all seen drops, like normal drops are, like I showed in the previous one, it kind of gradually eventually gets to a flat line. But if you go from 1 million views down to less than 100,000, like in one big drop, there could be an explanation for that. And that's why people are saying, what happened. Why is it that my video dropped so much? And therefore they claim that they are being shadow banned. And that's really what the sign, one of the sign is. So if you go back to the agenda, share the agenda once again. So that's what I'm talking about, teasing for upcoming points, right? View drops. You're going to find out, oh, why is my view dropping, right? And then, later on, you want to create some curiosity on your script. And I'm going to show you the script in a minute. The question is, why did this happen? By the way, and so the video, part of the video first, because it makes sense for the portion of the agenda that I'm in, but I'm actually going to show you the script where those information is actually written. So you'll be able to see that too. So you get the whole scope, you get the script writing idea, concept, discussion, you get to see an example, and then you'll be able to see the script in a few minutes. So let me show you, let me go through my agenda, and you'll be able to capture that. So let's go to 1 minute and 44 and see what that is. That's about the curiosity element of the script. Please go back to here, go back to here, go back to here, and share. And let's move it to 144. I'm going to move it 10 seconds before that.
Familiar? Here's what most people get wrong about why this happens. Why it happens. The real causes. YouTube isn't hiding you for fun, but it is making decisions.
So you see, not only do I say we have a potential issue where your views are dropping like a rock, but then later on I said, I asked the question, why does it happen? I don't tell you what happened. First, ask you, why does it happen? Why would I do that? That's sort of like a mini hook to kind of hook you into listening to another portion of the video. See right here, I am a minute, almost 44 into the video. So by that point, a lot of people have dropped unless they actually get to this point and you're able to hook them again in like a loop. So you are able to continue to show them that there's something important in the video for them to watch. So it's an issue where you introduce a problem, you try to give them a solution, or you hook them into watching the portion of the video, and you want them to continue watching the video. So therefore, you add some curiosity in the middle of it, and you delay revealing what the answer is until later on. You don't want to tell them, well, this is the solution the first 30 seconds, because they will just drop. And the goal is to keep them watching your video for the full length of it, or for as much as possible. So you want to start with a hook, provide some interesting information, provide some like information about what is happening, why does it matter, what you will learn. Kind of, for example, in this video, you will learn A, B, C, D, right? So wait until the end so you can see the big reveal. So you want to do all that. And after you finish one section, you want to kind of hook them again, and you delay the reveal for that so that people will stay. I want to say, but the real reason this work is even crazier. And I will show you in a second, right? So here is, I don't have this exact sentence in my video, but in reality, I'm saying pretty much what happened. I'm saying, why does it happen? Right? So it's a question mark. And then I will show you the answer to that later on. So write for retention, kill the fluff. That's one of the things that I learned on my script writing. Like tonight, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna kill part of my introduction because it wasn't what I expected to be, which is okay. It happens. So it happens a lot of times. The start of the video is really the most important one, and where if you have a misstep, your only choice would be to go back and kill the fluff, right? So And here what I do is we want to get to the value proposition fast. So I say in the video, here's what can trigger suppression, right? So we're talking about banning and your channel, not banning your channel, but shadow banning your channel, shadow banning your work. And then I say, here are the reason why suppression could happen. And that happens 2 minutes into the video. So now I'm beginning to provide a solution for that, right? So remove fillers, use short sentences, keep pacing tight, and let the viewer breathe between ideas. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But let me show you what happens at 1 minute and 54 seconds. It's something that you'll see how I'm able to do that. Because the goal here is not to just provide words, but basically allow you to see and share, experience what we are talking about. 1 minute and 54 seconds. I think I said 1 minute 54 seconds. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, you could do it.
Number 1, you mixed too many topics. If your channel covers veterans 1 week,
I go back a little before that.
YouTube isn't hiding you for fun, but it is making decisions about your content. Here's what can trigger suppression. Number 1.
See, that was the question, and this is the reveal.
You mixed too many topics. If your channel covers veterans 1 week, cooking the next, and gaming after that, YouTube doesn't know who to show your videos to.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. That's the how you do it. Basically, you set up your hook, set up your information, so you show the problem, and then you try the solution. But you try to do that multiple times throughout the video, so that the person has an interest in it. You provide them with a value proposition fast. This is probably a 4-minute video, so halfway through, I'm already providing the value that they are expecting from the title and the thumbnail. I'm basically I don't have any filler words. I'm using a lot of short sentences to explain what I'm doing, and I'm keeping my pacing tight so that the viewer can understand what's going on, right? So how could you explain pacing, right? It's really simple to explain pacing. So I'm going to just demonstrate it by looking at a portion of the video, and you'll be able to see this information if at all possible. But it's sort of like keeping the pace from one section of the video to another. And I'm going to explain that here. I'm going to explain what I mean by section. So let's kind of look a little bit of the video once again, so we are able to understand what's going on. Okay. Should be relatively easy to get there now.
A confused algorithm is a quiet algorithm. Number 2, community guideline strikes.
That's a transition.
Even minor violations can put your channel in a reduced state. You might not even realize you have one. Number 3, copyright claims.
You see, that's another transition, another portion, another topic. So you go from one to the next relatively easy and expeditiously. You're giving enough time to digest the information, right? But you don't have any fluff in between the information. It's important that you do that. So you keep the interest, you keep the pace going, you keep the subscriber, the viewer hooked into the information that you are presenting in that video or in the live show. So a little pacing. So for the script, usually it's broken down into 4 major areas, and then I will explain each one of them individually, and I'll give you an example. The first one is the hook. Then you have whatever points you are making, 1, 2, 3. You have the payoff. and you have the CTA. So now I'm going to look right into the script to be able to do that. For example, what the hook is for this script is the shocking stats hook. What does that mean? Well, so you go back over here. Where's my hook? What's my hook? Okay, this is my script right here that I'm provided for us to review tonight. So I had three options when selecting the hook. Option A, B, and C. Option A was the dilemma hook, right? Which is recommended. It matches the style. The second one was the shocking stat hook, which is this one here. It says is YouTube secretly suppressing your channel, right? And again, this is why. So I chose this one here for the hook. As you saw that at the beginning of the video, we presented this information here. Sometimes, you could say, hey, is that the right one? You have two options. You could create 3 videos with different hook and select the best one, or you could choose one in the hope that you pick the right one. So this is the draft script, and I went to the final script, I actually selected option B for my hook, right? Thousands of creators are convinced that YouTube is secretly suppressing their channel. And here's the scary part. Some of them might be right? So I could have selected the direct dilemma. If your views suddenly drop for no reason, stop blaming yourself before you change your content. Watch this, right? That's also a really good one. And as you see here, not only do I select the hook and where it should be placed within the video, the first 30 seconds, my case was the first 5 seconds, which is what I like. But I also give instruction to the AI what to do. B-roll, creator starting at a screen with a flat analytic graph, text overlay, 0 impression, right? So I not only try to provide information about what the hook should be, I also provide instruction to the AI as to what I'm looking for on the video itself. And if you recall, I believe the person was actually looking at the video when they were doing that. So, and they had a pretty stern look. So that is the hook for that I chose for the video that you guys were looking at. So going back to the parts again, right? So you have, I probably made multiple points, but I selected 3 for an example. The first one was, what is shadow banning? You saw the explanation on that on the video, and I'm going to show you how it is shown on the script. The signs, so this sounds familiar. I think you heard that as well. And then why it happens, I think you heard that as part of the clip that I already shown you tonight. So in reality, you experience this at the final stage or the final draft stage, because I haven't published the video. I just basically created my first shot. If I don't like, I have it set up. But if I don't like it, I can always kill it and put another one. And then the payoff, right? And how to recover from being shadow banned. And the CTA, I have a couple of elements in there. How what the bottom line is. They use YouTube for something bigger. No vets hungry tonight. What the mission is, just asking to subscribe and to make comments. So again, the hook, the point or the theme that I'm expressing, the payoff and the CTA. So let's see if we could take a look at those, how we do it. That's the hook. We already talked about the hook, right? The setup, right? What is shadow banning? I explained that in the video that I show you, and this is sort of the outline that is part of the script to create all that, to create what you saw. And then again, this is a B-roll that submitted for the AI to create an image. Social media feeding, scrolling, feeds scrolling. Then a YouTube channel dashboard showing decline graphs. So when you're creating your script, you're providing information that you want to the voiceover, and then you provide instruction as to what image or what video the AI should be showing, right? And if you remember, I use regular, clean, regular English, not no jargon and stuff like that. So I said the term shadow ban didn't start on YouTube. It started on social media, and I'm quite sure you heard those very same words on the video that I presented later on, early on, not later on. So that's the setup, right? The second step was the signs. And as you see here, I talked about a sudden unexplained view drops. And I show you a graph of what happened, right? You're doing well, you're going up here, you got about almost 1.2 million, and then you got dropped to maybe 100,000 views, and then here probably less than 100,000 views and that. So that's the reason some people have experienced that, and they look at the analytics and they say, oh my gosh, what is happening? Why did this happen? And I'm going to talk about briefly about that. This is what we call the view drops, right? And you saw that in the video to some degree. And then the other one is people think that what it should happen is there should be a gradual decline on their views, right? So I kind of create that dynamic by looking at the two elements that is in the mind of the creators, YouTube creator, and what they think they are being shadow banned, right? The next one is I talk about is shadow banning a real, is it even real, right? And I talk about doing a test to do that, right? I show you a graphics or going to the search bar and you're testing for that. But once again, this is a script, right? This is a script as to what you're just giving instruction for the voiceover, some of the graphics, and the B-roll, right? YouTube homepage evolution comparison short, sharing take up, whatever, right? So it kind of gives you that. And then the basic explanation is you do a quick test, but then it says, and I'm not going to tell you about the whole video. You need to kind of go look at it tomorrow when it drops. You know, it talks about the reason why it happened is changing priorities for YouTube. They used to put a lot of stake on long videos first and then shorts, but they have changed the business outlook and they're giving a lot of priority to shorts. So if you only have long videos and you saw a big drop on your viewers, like it happens here, one of the reasons could be basically that hey, it's just YouTube changing their policy and you having to adapt to it. So you're gonna see long video before and long video before, excuse me, and long video after. And that's because YouTube changed their policy from instead of giving long video the first view, they're being relegated to the second priority, and as such, they will be able to not get as many views as basically you think they should. And another thing that, you know, the number of impression, if you look at your analytics and you say, oh my God, I used to get 500,000 impressions from my subscriber, and now only getting like 12,000. It's a big decline. Before it was going up, now it's declining. Again, it could be the same reason that I just explained. It's YouTube changing their priorities, right? And that's what's going on there. So you need to look into that. So, you know, I explained the science of shadow binding. I explained why it happens, about, like I explained in the video. If you're mixing the kind of video that you put out, veterans video today, cooking tomorrow, something else the day after, create some confusion in the algorithm. And the question is, who is the algorithm? The algorithm is people. Algorithm is your audience, basically. So, if you people are expecting this kind of video, and you're giving a cooking one, they may not look at it too kindly and not look at your video. And that's what happens. That happens to me because I do have multiple topics, multiple things on my channel, and I suffer from this dilemma quite a long time. But I just have to adapt to it somehow. Then the other one that I talked about as to why is the community guideline. Now, remember, this video is not about why you're being banned. It's about writing viral script. But it's good that you understand the elements of it. And what I'm speaking of right now, if I could go back to it real quick, is this right here. The outline that I created for this video that I just showed you is, how I created the hook, the different points, and that's what I'm going through right now, the different points of it. And then talk about the solution and the CTA. I want to go down to the video so I'm able to provide you with more information about it, right? Okay, so I'm not gonna go to the solution, but I offer 5 different solutions to run clean for 28 days, to optimize your channel, to focus your niche, to learn a new format, and to search for videos seriously, right? So, and 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 be sure they appears in this search bar. So, watch the video and you'll be able to, if you believe you're being shadow banned, you'll be able to learn how to recover. And I'm going to leave this here for a couple of seconds so you get a chance to look at what's going on. And maybe I'll show a piece of it in a minute, but then the last part of it is the outro, right? The outro is like, how you complete the script. And if I go back to my original one, I'm going to give you a summary on the top. And then basically, we'll see what happened. I'll try to show you a little bit of at the end what's going on. So if I go back to the beginning over here, right? A good hook will have a hook. We have the point that you're trying to express or the theme that you want to talk about. And I listed 3 here out of the, I think it was 4 or 5 that I created. It provides a solution, a payoff for what you're watching. And then it has a call to action. And I talked about what is the bottom line. I explained that. What is the bottom line, right? I say the bottom line, YouTube isn't your enemy, but it's also not going to wait for you to catch up. The creators who survive algorithm shift are the one who adapt fast, right? So one of the explanations that I made on the video, I don't know if you cut it or not, was the fact that YouTube changes its business strategy or what the focus is on, right? They go from long video giving priority to short video getting priority. If you don't adapt to that shift, then basically you'll be left behind. And that's just one of the many things that you see on that. So the script create that curiosity, create that dynamic, and create the things that you need to be able to focus on. So when you create a script, which is what you're looking at right now, you have to have these different elements on it, right? You have to have the element of the videos that you're going to need to do, and basically be able to retain all that, right? You'll be able to, if you just have words put together, you're not going to get to where you need to go. Now, if you have a way laid out hook, theme, payoff, and CTA, that would be great. So let's see if I could show you probably towards the end of the video, see what you're able to capture out of that. I'm gonna replace this. What I'm doing is looking at the video right now. So share. And I'm gonna show you a little bit towards the end.
The solutions, how to recover. Whether it's a genuine suppression or an algorithm shift, the recovery path is the same. Step 1, run a clean 28 days. Stop anything that could look spammy. No sub for sub.
That's
To
one.
know who you're for. If you've been mixing topics, pick your lane. Consistency tells the algorithm exactly who to put your video, and you can win that game. Here's the bottom line. YouTube isn't your enemy, but it's also not going to wait for you to catch up. In your channel, I read every single one.
So that's basically asking you to provide comment. And obviously you are previewing the video right now. So when the video drop, if you watch the whole video, you give me some comments. I really, truly appreciate it. The purpose tonight was basically to show you how script writing works for me, right? So to give you an idea from top to bottom about a script and the elements of the script. And what I wanted to do basically is not only give you words that say this is how you do it, but give you an example on a script that I put together, and then the video that follow it. Right, the video hasn't posted yet, and that will be posting probably. I think it's scheduled for tomorrow night. And or it's the day after, because I have a video schedule. I have a video schedule almost every night. This one is actually on YouTube. It's a YouTube premiere. So you should be able to find it, and it has this thumbnail. I'm going to show you that. It has this thumbnail that you want to look for. I'm going to replace this one for my window. I'm going to share. So if you look for this thumbnail and you look for this title, you should be able to find the video that accompany this discussion, this script. And you should be able to play the video in its entirety, not in pieces. Because all I do was basically doing a preview of what the video is like and how it was put together. So hopefully that will help you. And hopefully it gives you a better in-depth understanding of how to create a script from top to bottom. Let's see. Let me go back to the agenda. So that's what we're trying to accomplish tonight. Give me some comments. I know we started a little bit slow because we mix and match some of the things that were going on. We got too many videos being posted at the same time. And this is a live show, so sometimes things are not going to go 100% the way that they should be. With that being said, I'd like to thank you all for attending tonight. And I'd like to end the stream right now. Hope you join us next time.